What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Have This Hard Conversation. I know it's been a minute since I posted on Let's Have This Hard Conversation, but I was a little bit discouraged because I felt like I didn't really have too much to say because wasn't that much going on in my life at the time, you know? But now I'm in a season where I'm trying to really hone in on what's important to me and really make things happen in my life as far as I want to be more of a doer. I want to do more things. I want to push more things. And that's what this conversation is going to be about. Being a doer, being more ambitious, achieving more, accomplishing more of your goals, and learning how to execute the plan. That is super duper important for me. And when you think about all of the responsibilities I have, like all of the responsibilities that I have or that you may have in life, you have to learn how to navigate not having enough time in a day, not having enough time in a day, and then when you do have the time, making time for things that are important to you. And that's what I'm doing now. Just really trying to be intentional about my time and make the time that I do have be a very, very important time to do things that are going to really fulfill me and really make me happy and really push me to a life that I really desire. Because I turned the age of 24, I really have a different perspective on life because now I'm getting older, which means I'm trying to take my health more seriously, trying to take my finances a little bit more seriously, and really trying to ask myself what is important to me and how do I want to feel, right? Because I was going to say, how do I want to be perceived? But it's not even about what other people think. It's really about what you believe, what you think about yourself. And I think that's what's super duper important right now. Me trying to figure out what's important to me, who do I want to be, and how do I want to feel. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. If the issue is money, what can I do to solve that? If the issue is health, what can I do to solve that? And the goal for me is to do preventive measures in order to make sure that there is no issues in the long run, because I think right now it's about longevity and trying to make sure that these things are put into place for my long lasting life, for as long as God says, Jahia, you're going to be on earth. You know what I'm saying? For the long run. And I'm doing things for the long run now. Because I'm 24, I keep saying that, but I'm just so happy to be 24. But just because I'm 24, I think my health matters more, my mindset matters more, my finances matter more, and I'm going to push more for those things and trying to really live a full life, I really want to live a full life. I really want to be well traveled and well experienced in life as far as living life to the fullest. And sometimes when you think about those things and you try to do things for your own benefit, because one thing that I know growing up for me, I don't know if y'all ever experienced this, but it was bad for you to be selfish growing up. Like, my mom would literally get on my ass for being selfish. She didn't play that. Mind you, I had a lot of siblings, so my mom, she was not playing that selfish stuff. And even nowadays, my siblings, they still don't like they kind of, family sometimes feel entitled to certain things. And I think, as I look at the scope of my life, I don't know if I'm the only person who has decided to live a life for me, live a life fully for Jahia and Jahia only. And from everybody's perspective, they may be like, that's very selfish, but I feel so free in doing so, that knowing that the responsibility of having other people depending on you is knowing that it's a super duper heavy weight, but also asking myself, what is really important to you, girl? Because even as a young child, I didn't really see the importance of half the stuff that I was being told to do. And I will always be very curious about, why am I doing it? What is the purpose of this? Oh, because you are supposed to like it. You supposed to like this, and you supposed to like that. And I'm like, I don't really, that's not really it. Because at first, I used to always get a lot of, people used to always say things to me. They used to always try to tell me who I was. And I think because I've developed a really strong sense of self, because I had to. You had, when people are trying to tell you who you are and everybody is trying to bombard you with words that you don't identify with, you literally create an internal sense of self and reassurance and validation that when you look into the outside world, you don't give a damn. You're like, I know what you're saying, but it don't sound too right to me. So I hear what you're saying, but this does not resonate to who I am and who I feel like and what I like and what I want in life. And I've always been very stern with my belief system. You could call it, I was stubborn. You could call it whatever you want. But what I think it was a real internal reassurance about who I am. And that was built over courses and courses of years. And because of that, I don't think I would let anybody tell me who to become based off of what they perceive me as. Your perception of me it has nothing to do with me actually. Your perception of me is your own perception. It's what you believe in your mind based off the attributes, the characteristics, or even my appearance. You may think that I'm this way, but I'm actually something else. And here's another thing I always think about, is I think that people and human beings in general, we are so complex. We are not one-dimensional. And so the fact that sometimes you get these labels or you get these stereotypes put on you as if you are one thing. The term that everyone uses now is, I am not a monolith, or a group of people is not a monolith. And I couldn't definitely agree to that. It's like, you think I'm just one thing based off of what? Based off of this narrative you created or this perception you have in your mind? That's a personal issue. But this is who I really am, and this is what I'm really talking about. And this is what I really, really want in life. And this is what I really want in society. And everything, and I say this all the time, but everything you've known up to this point has been taught to you. Is it correct? Is it wrong? I don't know. You have to make the determination for yourself. However, a lot of things that I am and I have been learning in the past few years is I have been deconstructing a lot of perceptions that I have learned. And it started really early, really kind of in high school. I started to deconstruct ideals and people and conversations and how things were being moved. And I think my childhood definitely played a part of that, because it definitely played a big part in how I perceive the world. However, as I'm an adult, I'm unlearning a lot of things and really trying to step into that childhood me. Like, I really want to play the piano and I really want to do all these things. Sometimes we look at our parents and we look at people and our parents and we kind of talk about them as if they didn't try the best that they could. And I always give kudos to mothers in parenthood, because it's one of the hardest things you probably have to do, is to raise a person up. And if you don't have the resources in order to do that, what can you do? You can only give them your best. And if your best is not what they think is good enough, then so what? So now for me as an adult, it's me mothering myself, parenting myself, and giving me myself those opportunities, those positions, those places, and really believing in myself to be confident enough to go out and step out on faith on those dreams and desires that I really have, because those things are super important to me. Like, I was like, man, I wish I would have been in gymnastics, or I wish my mom would have put me in this, and I wish why can't I heal those wounds inside of me, those childhood, the inner child? I can go do those things now as an adult. I don't have to sit back and blame my parents for everything that has happened to me, because here's the truth: no one is perfect, and it was bound to happen that you was going to end up with trauma, because God don't make perfect people. These are imperfect people who have made a decision and decided to have you, right? Whether it was a mistake or not, they decided to have you. And when they did that, they was already messed up. They was already going through things. They already probably have went through their traumas. And even if you go to the therapist, the trauma is still there, and it can still surface. Because people like, go get you a therapist, get you a therapist. A therapist does not heal the wounds, guys. All a therapist is, it helps you be aware to the wounds, because you can't run away from your trauma. You can only be aware of the trauma, and you can be aware of how it triggers you. That's it. The trauma ain't going nowhere. You can't disappear from your traumas. The trauma's still gonna show up. Those hurts, those situations, those times when someone neglected you or abandoned you, that would still show up in your every single day life. It's only being aware of yourself. It's only being aware of your triggers. It's only being aware of it that you might, just a little, might have conscious control. But even then, you can't control the traumas. So it's like, now you have to make a decision as a grown adult. Am I going to keep crying about the past? Am I going to keep crying about what happened to me? Or am I going to take ownership of my life, and I'm going to take accountability for the things that I may have not done to myself, but I was included in there. You know what I'm saying? It happened to me. Yes, I didn't have the opportunities. Maybe I didn't have the support. Maybe I was abandoned. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe that. Now it's your job to heal yourself. You can't keep blaming people for everything that has been happening to you. You have to realize that it has happened to you. Boom. What can I do to solve my own problems? Because you're a grown person. You have authority. Not only do you have authority of your own life, you have the ability to go do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying you can do whatever, but you can do majority of things, right? It's your responsibility to make your life come to life, to make your dreams come true. And what are you going to do about it? You wish you had this. What are you going to do? You have to make your dreams come true. I don't think there's anyone who can come and make your dreams come true. Not even a man. A man can't make your dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? No one can make your dreams come true. It's going to take real initiative, real resilience, and real consistency and discipline in order to get you on that next level. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope y'all got something out of it, because I surely did. And hopefully we can come back to the next video.